अस्सलाम वालेकुम माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स। आज हम बात करने जा रहे हैं हाइड्रोफिली की। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं आपको याद दिला दूं, हमने सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन पढ़ी, हमने क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन पढ़ी। नाउ वी आर डिस्कसिंग डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ पॉलिनेशन बेस्ड ऑन द पॉलिनेटिंग एजेंट। तो हमने एनिमोफिली भी डिस्कस की हुई है। आज हम हाइड्रोफिली पे बात करेंगे। ओके, हाइड्रोफिली का जो माने हैं, the meaning of hydrophily is hydro means water and phily means to love. Those plants which love to get their flowers pollinated using water, they are known as hydrophilous plants. Okay, and the process of, or you can say the process of using water to achieve pollination, this is known as hydrophily. It is a way of pollination when the plants use water to get their flowers pollinated. Hydrophily has been found to occur in about 30 genera of mostly monocotyledonous aquatic plants. So 30 genera of plants mostly belonging to monocots, they show hydrophily. Like we have Vallisneria, Ceratophyllum, Zostera. So we have discussed what is hydrophily. Hydrophily means using water to achieve pollination, and it has been found to occur in 30 genera which mostly belong to monocotyledons, and these include Vallisneria, Ceratophyllum and Zostera. Now some important remarks of hydrophily. It is not always necessary that a plant which lives in aquatic habitats shows hydrophily. Okay, it is not no indication, it is no indication that a plant which is aquatic shows hydrophily. There are some plants which use water, which take the advantage of water to get their flowers pollinated, but there are some other examples as well. For example, we have Myriophyllum, Potamogeton. They use wind for getting their flowers pollinated, and similarly Elisma and Nymphia, they use insects to get their flowers pollinated. So occurrence of a plant in aquatic habitats is no indication that it is using water for pollination. Now the characteristics of hydrophilous flowers. The flowers are small and inconspicuous. For example, Calitrich, it is a plant. Its male flower consists of just a single stamen, and its female flower is represented by a naked carpel. That means the non-essential words in case of this plant species, they are entirely absent. Okay, there is no need to have these non-essential words because these flowers, they don't have to attract the pollinators, they don't have to attract the bees, they don't have to attract the birds. Okay, the perianth in case of the aquatic flowers, it is unwettable. It should be unwettable. Okay, because if it constantly gets wet, it can decompose. The flowers are without nectar and odor. They don't need to produce nectar and odor. The pollen grains are light and non-wettable due to presence of a mucilage cover. Similarly, their pollen grains, they should be non-wettable. They should be light so that they can float. Okay, they do not sink. They should be light and non-wettable, and this non-wettable feature, it is achieved due to presence of mucilage cover. The stigmas of the aquatic flowers, they are long, sticky, and they are also unwettable. The stigmas, they should be long so that they can capture the floating pollen grains. They should be sticky so that the pollen grains are easily caught, and they should be they are wettable. They are the stigmas, they are wettable. So stigmas are long, sticky, but they are wettable. They should be wettable because they have to catch the pollen grains. Now the types of hydrophily. There are two types of hydrophily. The first one is hypohydrophily, and the second one is epihydrophily. Now we'll talk about hypohydrophily. When pollination occurs beneath the surface of water, this type of hydrophily is known as hypohydrophily. A pollination भी हो रही है but under the surface of water. It occurs in completely submerged hydrophytes, completely submerged plants like Najas, Ceratophyllum, and Zostera. Now we will study hypohydrophily in Ceratophyllum. In Ceratophyllum demersum, which is one of the species of Ceratophyllum, okay, it is a submerged freshwater plant. The male flowers of this plant, they bear 30 to 45 stems. Okay, they bear a large number of stems. The mature anthers of these stems, they break at the base and they then mount to the surface of water. फिर वो surface of water पे पहुंच जाते हैं. They move to the surface of water and day is there. They break down there. Okay, for example, this is one of the anther. It breaks here, moves to the surface of water, then it dehisces there, releases the pollen grains. These pollen grains, they start germinating and they start sinking. Okay, while sinking, they come in contact with the stigma of the female flower. For example, this is the female flower present on another plant. While sinking, they come in contact with the stigma of the female flower and this causes pollination. Similarly, we will study the hypohydrophily in Zostera. Okay, Zostera marina, which is also known as seagrass, it is a submerged perennial angiosperm, and it is the unique instance. It is a unique example where pollen grains themselves, they have got adopted to promote pollination. Okay, इस plant species में the pollen grains, they have adapted, they have evolved in such a way that pollination takes place. Now I will tell you how. In this plant species, the pollen grains are elongated. They are long. They can be up to 2500 micrometer long. Okay, they are like a needle, and these pollen grains, they are without axine. याद रखना, in Zostera marina, the pollen grains are elongated like needles. They have similar specific gravity as that of the water. Because of similar specific gravity as that of the water, they remain underwater. They do not come to the surface of water. Okay, they have the same gravity, same specific gravity as that of the water. Thus, they float beneath the surface of water. They do not come to the surface. And whenever they reach the stigma, they coil about it and germinate. For example, ये एक plant है, it produces the pollen grains, okay, which are long needle-like. They have the same specific gravity as that of the water. This makes them float. This makes them remain underwater instead of coming to the surface. Whenever they come in contact with the female flower, because of their needle-like structure, they coil around the stigma and germinate. Thus, pollination is achieved. Now, Hypohetrophilia. It's the pollination which occurs on the surface of water. Okay, pollination that is achieved on the surface of water, it is known as Hypohetrophilia. Example: Elodes, Hydrola, and Vallisneria. Now we will study Hypohetrophilia in Vallisneria. Vallisneria, which is also known as eelgrass, it is submerged dioecious freshwater plant. Dioecious means the male flowers are present on one plant and the female flowers are present on another separate plant. Each male flower has two stamens. It has two tepals which form a boat-like structure, and there is one more tepal, third tepal, which is upwardly bent and acts as a sail. Sail is a structure जो ships पे होता है, okay, and that sail helps the ship use wind to move. Similarly, in case of the male flower of Vallisneria, it uses one of the tepal as sail so that it can float on the surface of water. The female flower of this plant, the female plants of this species, they produce female flowers at the tip of long pedicels that brings the flowers on the surface of water. Okay, जो female plants होते हैं, they have long pedicels. At the tip of pedicels, the female flowers are born, and these female flowers, they come to the surface of water. During floating, the male flowers are drawn in the depression of female flowers. जो depression होता है female flower का, उसी में male flower चला जाता है. The anthers of open male flowers, they come in contact with large trifid stigmas of female flower and pollination takes place. Okay, जो male flowers के anthers होते हैं, they come in contact with the large trifid. Trifid means that's like this, having 3 branches. These are the stigmas. They come in contact with the trifid stigmas of female flowers for pollination. And after pollination, the female flowers, the female flowers, they close again. Okay, the female flowers, they close again. Then they are brought down into water by coiling up their stalk. I will show you on the next slide how this happens. This is the male flower having 2 tepals which form boat-like structure and 1 tepal which is upwardly bent and acts as a sail. Okay, these male flowers, they float on the surface of water, and whenever they reach the female flowers which are also present on the surface of water, they get into their depressions. The female flowers close. Okay, and when pollination is achieved, the female flowers, because of the coiling of their stalk, they move underwater, and thus pollination takes place. So these are the 2 types of hydrophily: hypohydrophily and hypohydrophily. With this, we have completed the hydrophily. In the next part, we will start with zoophily. Okay, till then, stay blessed and take care of yourself.